We're always told that success comes from these big, bold, heroic moves. But what if the real key, the actual secret, is something much quieter, something we just do every single day? Well, today, we're going to unpack the silent power of consistency, that steady, underestimated force that, more than anything else, is the true driver of long-term achievement. So, have you ever felt this? You go all in on a goal. You put in the hours, you work hard for weeks, maybe even months, and you're just waiting for that big breakthrough. But it's just crickets. Nothing happens. Look, that frustration is totally normal. We live in a world that has trained us to expect instant results for everything. But the truth is, real, meaningful achievement, it just doesn't work that way. All right, so here's our game plan for today. First, we're going to tear down this idea of the instant success trap. Then, we'll put consistency and intensity head to head to see which one really wins. After that, we'll see the compounding effect in action with some real-world examples, uncover a deep spiritual lesson that backs all this up, and finally, map out your path to success, a path you can actually stick with. Okay, so let's dive into the biggest hurdle we all face, the instant success trap. Think about it. Our entire world is built for one-click results, right? Food, movies, information, it's all on demand, right now. So it's no wonder we start expecting our biggest life goals to show up just as fast. The problem is, this mindset is a recipe for failure. It just sets us up for constant disappointment. And that brings us to a fundamental, non-negotiable truth. Real success is not a sprint. It's a marathon. It's not about that one incredible leap you take. It's about the thousands of small, sometimes boring steps you take day after day after day. It's a journey, not a single destination. The garden analogy is honestly the perfect way to think about this. So you plant a seed today, what happens tomorrow? Nothing. A week later, you're still not seeing much. But if you give it a little water, a little care, every single day, something amazing happens. Almost invisibly at first, it starts to grow. And over time, that tiny little seed becomes a strong tree. Our goals, our successes, they follow that exact same slow, powerful logic. So, if those huge, intense bursts of effort aren't the answer, then what is? Well, this brings us to the core idea of our entire discussion, the showdown between consistency and intensity. And this is where we find the almost magical, hidden power of compounding. Just look at the two side by side. On one hand, you've got intensity. That's the all-nighters, the crash diets, those frantic last-minute work sessions. It feels super productive, like you're making these huge leaps. But where does it almost always lead? Straight to burnout. But on the other side, you've got consistency, small, steady, daily steps. It doesn't feel dramatic at all, but what it does is build this quiet, unstoppable momentum. It creates growth you can actually keep up with. All right, so let's get practical here. How does this whole compounding effect actually play out in the real world? Let's look at how these seemingly insignificant daily actions can stack up and turn into something truly massive over time. Okay, let's take a classic example, right? The gym. Imagine you commit to just 30 minutes at the gym every single day. On day one, it feels like almost nothing. It's just half an hour. How much can that really do? And yet, that small, daily habit will, without a doubt, build more lasting strength and fitness than a monster 2-hour session that you only manage to drag yourself to once a week. Why? Because your body adapts to that regular rhythm, not the occasional brutal shock. Consistency wins. Or, how about this one? Reading for just 10 minutes before you go to sleep. In the moment, it feels tiny. It's so easy to dismiss it, to think, what's the point? It's just 10 minutes. But here's where the magic happens. Those tiny 10-minute chunks start to compound. Over a single year, that simple little habit adds up to more than 60 hours of focused learning. That's enough time to get through dozens of books, all from a commitment that felt almost insignificant each night. Now that is the power of compounding. And this isn't just about personal habits, by the way. This is a game changer in the professional world, too. A salesperson who makes just 5 calls every single day is going to outperform the one who makes 50 calls in a panic one afternoon and then does nothing for a week. We see it in corporate giants like Amazon and Apple. Their success didn't come from one brilliant idea. It came from years of consistent daily improvements. And for you personally, your consistency builds this silent reputation. People learn they can rely on you.
And that trust, it's priceless.
Now, what's really fascinating is that this whole idea, it isn't some new productivity hack from a business book. It's actually a piece of deep, timeless wisdom that you can find in spiritual traditions. Let's talk about the power of steadfastness.
You see it captured beautifully in the Quran with this verse. So be steadfast. It's a direct instruction to be firm, to be consistent, to stay on your course. And it comes with this incredible promise that the effort you put in will not be lost.
And there's this really powerful Arabic term for it, istiqama. It's this core principle of steadfastness, of staying on the right path with unwavering consistency. Especially when it's hard, when you're tired, when you're not seeing immediate results, that's when istiqama really matters.
And this is driven home by a saying from the Prophet Muhammad, which, it just perfectly nails the whole idea. The most beloved action, the one that truly matters, is the most regular and constant one, even if it is little. It's not about the grand, rare gestures. It's about the small, daily commitments. That's what defines us. Okay, so let's bring all of this together. How do we take this big idea and apply it to your path, to your journey towards real, lasting success? It all starts by embracing the process itself. But here's the million-dollar question, right? How do you stay consistent when the results are coming in so slowly or when you can't see them at all? Well, it comes down to one thing. The engine that drives this whole machine is patience. Without it, we quit. We give up long before the compounding effect ever gets a chance to work its magic. But we need to be really clear about what patience means here. This isn't passive waiting. It's not just sitting on your hands hoping for the best. It is an active, powerful state of endurance. It's about continuing to do the work even when the results are totally invisible. It brings us right back to the gardener, doesn't it? They don't just sit and wait after planting the seed. They are actively watering, weeding, and nurturing, all while trusting the process of growth. And that's really the big mindset shift, isn't it? At the end of the day, success isn't some big, flashy event. It's not a finish line you cross one day. It is the process. It is the sum total of all of your small, consistent, daily efforts. So, I want to leave you with a question, a real one. Forget about the giant leaps for a moment. What is one small, seemingly insignificant action that you can commit to doing every single day, starting today, that will move you just a tiny bit closer to your biggest goal? Because that small action, done consistently, that is where real success is born.